Yung can we talk a little, question niya yun kay Orville. Pero hindi niya sinagot, kundi si Kishore talaga ang ano niya dito.
Well, before I get to the irritants, let me just say, Kishore, that 9 U.S. presidential administrations wholeheartedly supported engagement. And I take your point that, we pick and choose who we oppose. But I think the difference is that Vietnam has no sort of hegemonic pretenses in the South China Sea, is not in conflict over the Sengakus, is not competing with the Philippines for Second Thomas Shoal, is not...
Totoo? Talaga? Even yung pagbanggit mo ng Second Thomas Shoal, kung talagang mahal mo kami, ang Pilipinas, bakit Second Thomas Shoal? Ayungin Shoal, sabihin mo.
Ayun yun.
Sabihin nyo, West Philippine Sea, hindi South China Sea.
Threatening to have some sort of a reunion with a forced reunion with Taiwan, and of course I remind you that we've had a little dust up in India of late, and the entire Arunachal Pradesh in the Northeast Territories is...
Okay, nabanggit niyo yung India. I-Indian yung kausap niya. Kita nyo, ang India mismo and China, meron din silang territorial dispute diyan sa border ng India at ng China. But this Indian guy, alright, ano yung sinasabi niya? Dapat dalawa tayo. Dapat meron tayong mutual understanding, bilateral agreement. So, at the end of the day, ang pinopoint nitong si Kishore, hindi digmaan, hindi war. But, okay, going back to that conflict between India and China, meron din silang border conflict. Okay? Border kasi mountain yun Sa atin kasi, dagat. Okay? Pero, anong difference natin? India has capabilities. Kaya nilang lumaban. So, anong nangyayari sa kanila? Instead na alam yun, meron silang restrictions, meron silang reservations to each other kasi alam nilang powerful din silang dalawa. May nuclear din ang India, may nuclear yung China. Abay tayo, nagyayabang tayo, meron ba tayong kapabilidad? Meron tayong US. Anong ginagawa ng US? Diba? Akala ko ba sugatan sila dyan? Akala ko ba nabasag yung resupply boat? Anong ginagawa ng US? Hindi kaya sinadya nila yung Article 4 dyan sa Mutual Defense Treaty na yan na dapat armed attack. So hanggang kailan? Nagkasugat na sila. Hindi pa rin papasok yung mga kano. So anong silbi yung base nila dyan sa Pilipinas? Useless. Diba? So, anong gagawin natin? I-develop muna natin yung sarili nating bansa para meron tayong capability just like Vietnam na meron silang capability. Ang liit ng Vietnam. Mas malaki nga pa ang population natin. But they have this capability to go toe-to-toe with China. Samantalang tayo, kawawa naman tayo, i-spray tayo. May-spray tayo. Ay, sugat to, may sugat. Hanggang ganun na lang ba tayo? Ginaganon na nga tayo, pero ang kano hindi na mapapasok kasi hindi magpo-fall under the Mutual Defense Treaty.
Is claimed by China. They have maps with Chinese names on places. That shoe is going to drop. So it isn't that just China's a nice little authoritarian country wanting to trade with the rest of the world. It seems to me that what is agitating the
Punasan mo naman yung
making it very difficult, not just for the United States, but is China's pretensions.
China's
in a way.
Ano sabi nila? Ano sabi niya? Yung ginawa nila. So hanggang kailan sila papasok sa atin? So sinong pretentious? Kayo ang pretentious. You pretend that you will be our safeguard. You pretend that kayo ang magdedepensa sa atin pero sugat-sugat na yung mga kawawang mga resupply people. Okay, basag kuno yung kanilang mga boat, pero wala pa rin kayo. Di ba? Ironclad. Ayan, tama, Cherubin. Ayan. Ironclad. Ironclad, di ba? Ang sarap pakinggan. Napaka-ipokrito. Ironclad.
That has global aspirations first in Asia and possibly elsewhere. We don't know. So I think that this is a very much more complicated thing than just China rejuvenating and restoring itself to a place of greatness. It is reaching out in ways which I think are very unsettling for Southeast Asia. And when I'm in Singapore, the thing that
Unsettling for Southeast Asia. Again, ng aming face mask, sino namibigay ng COVID vaccine namin. Pag may bagyo, nandyan sila. Kayo nga, sabi ninyo, yung EDCA, 'di ba? Additional EDCA o para makatulong kayo pag merong sakuna, may sakunang nangyari, nasan kayo? Unsettling.
stuns me.
Just me.
I understand Singapore's situation. But actually, I mean, I think you Singaporeans, and I use you as a kind of a metaphor for many people in Southeast Asia, do feel rather profoundly comfortable with Americans. And actually, many people feel rather uncomfortable with China. But it is
Really? Judgment mo yan.
you don't want to express it too loudly because you don't want to rock the boat. Fair enough. I get it. But I would love to hear you address what I think some would call China's hegemonic pretensions in Asia and the destabilizing effect of that throughout the entire region.
Do you think China is making the same mistakes that other industrialized countries are making, that they expand too far, too fast, that they try to wield the power that they've just received too quickly? And how does that uncomfortableness in Southeast Asia with some of China's behavior play out from your perspective?
Well, I can assure you that one lesson I learned after studying geopolitics for about 50 years is that the concept of a benevolent great power is an oxymoron. And great power. All great powers, without exception, and this has only been true for 4,000 years, will pursue their own interests.
Tama! Sabi ni Kishore, natutunan niya na there is no such thing as benevolent superpower. Ibig sabihin, there's no such thing as matulungin or giving or matulungin na superpower. Kasi ganyan kasi ang pinipicture or pinoportray ng mga kano na we will defend ironclad to the Philippines. We will give you aid. I shall return. Yung mga ganong mga, alam yung mga flowery words na nakakabigay ng pag-asa sa atin. Hope, yes, Uncle Sam. Pero sabi ni Kishore, there's no such thing as benevolent superpower. Meron talaga silang interest. Alright? Just like, kung talaga gusto nilang tumulong, na walang kapalit, bakit kailangan nilang maglagay ng EDCA sites dyan? Sige nga. Eto pa nga nakakatawa. Naglagay sila ng EDCA sites, tinago nila doon na, sabi nila, para kapag merong sakuna, makakatulong tayo, ganito, ganyan. O kaya kapag merong conflict dyan sa maritime issues, makakatulong sila. Una, may sakuna, wala sila. Pangalawa, inisprehan sila, nagkasugat-sugat sila, wala sila. Kasi it's not under mutual defense treaty. Di ba? So, walang silbi yung EDCA sites na yan. So, walang benevolent superpower kasi meron silang interest superpower. Interest-based, meron silang interest dyan. To sustain and maintain power sa Southeast Asia or sa Asian peninsula or continent, whatever they want to impose. Yun talaga ang purpose nila. You could see Japan, South Korea, Philippines, they put their bases all over Asia. and even Europe, all over the world, meron silang mga military bases. Total of 700 military bases. Tapos sasabihin ninyo, China, nangaangkin ng teritoryo, nangaangkin. Unang-una, historically, sino ba yung mga nag-invade sa atin? Di ba isa dyan, Kano? Did China ever invade Philippines? Okay. Sino ang pinakamaraming bases sa buong mundo? Di ba US? So that's hypocritical attitude of them.
And we take it, in geopolitics there are price makers and price takers. So United States and China today are price makers. We are price takers.
Mm.
And if we have any kind of illusion that there's a nice, benevolent, cuddly
So ibig sabihin niya dito, China, US, they're not benevolent superpowers. Meron talagang interest niyan. And I also I do believe na ang China, meron din silang interest. Alright? They help us, but in return, meron din silang benefits. Ganun naman talaga yun eh. Just like for example, yung Silk Road nila, gagawa sila ng kalsada, whatever, underground tunnel or locomotive, train, railways, mga ganito. Gagawa sila papunta sa Thailand, papunta sa India, papunta sa doon sa mga malalapit na borders, gagawa sila niyan, pupunduan nila niyan. At the same time, meron silang interest doon, meron balik din sa kanila. But kung titignan natin yung difference, hindi ko sinasabi na santo ang China. Of course, hindi naman sila perfect eh. 'Di ba? But what I can see, ako personally, sa China, meron silang interest but it's more on economic. 'Di ba? Gusto nila kasing alam mo yung mag-boost yung kanilang ekonomiya. Ayaw nila ng war. Gusto nilang mag-boost para lumakas pa ng lumakas yung kanilang bansa. Ganun lang naman talaga yun eh. Whereas dito naman sa mga Kano, okay, gusto nilang lumakas in a way na kikita sila doon sa weapons nila kasi yun naman talagang ano nila eh. Yun ang talagang greatest na achievement nila is yung weapon nila. 'Di ba? High tech, advanced, lahat kasi yun yung priority nila. So and every time na merong war, doon sila kumikita. So yun yung interest nila. More war, more income. Ganun lang naman yun. So yung isa, economic. Yung isa, war. That's what I can see.
great power that will look after you and sacrifice his own interests, then you're in trouble. So you in geopolitics, which is a very cruel game, and the countries that don't understand geopolitics are the ones that get sucked into conflict and get
Tama.
sucked into problems. And here I want to add a very important point. Because I think to some extent, Orville, you're being unfair to the Southeast Asian states. There are, at the end of the day, 660 million people living in Southeast Asia. There's about double the population of the United States of America. And this region of the world, I want to emphasize, is the most diverse region of planet Earth. Out of 660 million people, 250
Ito, pakinggan nyo to, maganda tong sinabi niya. Sa Asia.
million are Muslims, 150 million are Christian, 150 million are Buddhists, Mahayana Buddhists, Hinayana Buddhists, Taoists, Confucianists, Hindus, and as I told you, we have lots of communists also in Southeast Asia. If there was one region on planet Earth that should be destined for war and conflict, and the British describe it as the Balkans of Asia, that was Southeast Asia. Now, can you please ask yourself a simple question? Why have there been no major wars in Southeast Asia since 79? That's 45 years.
Diverse ang Asia. Ang daming mga ethnicity, ang daming mga religions, diverse yan. Pero bakit walang war between Asian countries? Diba? What a slap to your face, kayo mga Western.
There is a hidden genius in Southeast Asia, in ASEAN. We know how to manage geopolitics. We know how to adjust, adapt, be flexible.
Yon.
We know how to maintain good ties with the United States, and we do. When President Biden invites the 10 ASEAN leaders, they come,
Mm.
right? And when President Xi invites the 10 ASEAN leaders, they go.
See? Anong pinupunto niya? Kahit iba-iba, diverse yung ating culture, tradition, economic, lahat, religion, alam natin kung paano makipagkaibigan sa bawat isa. Kaya nga, nung in-invite nung US President ang 10 ASEAN countries, pumunta sila. In-invite nung 10 ASEAN countries nung China, pumunta sila. Yan yung friend to all, enemy to no one.
And when Prime Minister Albanese
Hmm.
of Australia invites 10 ASEAN leaders, they go. So if you want to learn, if you want to enter a world in which different cultures and civilizations want to learn how to live in peace with each other and can live in peace with each other,
Hmm.
come to ASEAN,
Tama.
come to Southeast Asia. Please don't be condescending towards this region. This region has accomplished some remarkable things that the whole world can take lessons from. And lesson number 1, learn from us how to avoid wars.
Agoy! America! Learn how to avoid war. Vietnam War, diba? Sino ang nag-create at nag-invade sa Iraq? Sa Libya? Sa Syria? Today, Ukraine? Diyan, ngayon sa may Gaza, Israel, Palestinian? Sino nag-create niyan? Is it China? Come on, ask yourself.